Welcome back one and all to some more Robocraft here on the Gamer Guide channel with me, Rollin. Today we're going to be going over builds that are pretty much around the Railgun Impaler, one of the new parts put into the game, which is that big sniper rifle you see on top of my vehicle there. Some of these are just going to be kind of conceptual art bots, and the other ones will be a little bit more practical, but I'm kind of going to show them in order of what I feel is the most art body to the most practical. So this is my first one. It's called the Astral Invader, and I thought it looked pretty cool. I put that mask on it that has the new effects, the taunt effects, and then also colored up the plates to kind of match it. I did that blue and orange color. Unfortunately though, it has some problems with movement though. Like here, whenever you strafe and you're using camera control mode, you end up flipping over. Now you can use keyboard controls and it won't flip as easily, but you'll be super sensitive. I took 3 of the legs off just to show you how bad it is in camera control mode if you don't have any legs on the front side. It's like little flip dogs. But besides the insect legs being broken, I thought it kind of turned out interesting. I got that Railgun Impaler on top, got 6 of the lasers on it, and then the electroplates too got beefed up, so they're actually viable now. So that's why I got that front plate on it. So for my next build, I went with one that's just a little bit more compact of the last version, and made the electroplates cover more of its outer body. Used a little bit less CPU too, because I wanted to have more weapon damage, and came up with this. So same kind of concept, but I just used this 4 lasers instead of 6, and still has the same Railgun Impaler on top. And then I put a little bit more cosmetic work into it too, with some spikes and rear bumper and stuff like that too, which I thought looked kind of cool. And it shoots it and performs, you know, pretty good. If it wasn't for the legs on it, it would almost be viable. So I'm kind of cross my fingers and hope that they fix that soon, because you still have the flipping whenever you strafe issue when you're in camera mode. And that's the only mode I can really use it in. This, for instance, you know, here we go again. Let me show you real quick. We'll switch over to keyboard mode. And then when you take it out, there's issues with this one too. It's so sensitive, you know. Turn left and right, and I'm just tapping it. I'm not holding it down or anything here. Just quick tap, and it's doing like a 90-degree turn. And if you're a little bit longer, you're doing a 180-degree turn. So, I mean, super fast and responsive, but it's only really great if you're using it in camera control mode. Now somebody was telling me you could use 2 legs on the side and 2 in the front, but I actually like the smaller compact design, so I'll probably just keep this on the shelf until they change the legs. Alright, now on to the more serious R&D stuff. This is the Tarantula Hawk. I made it with all the light cubes. I used 4 of the rudders on it, and then of course we got the Railgun Impaler on top and 4 of the laser disintegrators too. The little wheels on the bottom are a great kind of stabilizer. Keep the vehicle right up. Keep it right side up, but you can also just take off from a standstill with these little rudders, and it runs around on the ground pretty quickly too. You're pretty much over like max speed flying and also on the ground, because I put a couple of the thruster here on the bottom too, and of course you got your cosmetic parts on here just for good measure. But yeah, so the idea here is to create a sniper that's pretty small, that can fly around and use lasers if it needs to, with good damage buff on it. It is, since we're using all light cubes, it is still like an 800 some part build, just because every cube on it is pretty much worth 3. But you can do things like get up here on top of this and just kind of scout out things, and if you overshoot a little bit, you just press backwards and you're basically going to be able to maneuver pretty much any surface without any problem. So this is it in an AI game. It's a little small, and I'm not really super used to playing these little small wheeled and slash flight builds, but I know with a little practice you can get pretty good at this. I did actually already throw this one up on the market too under Tarantula Hawk if you guys are interested in checking out like an ultralight with a big rail and some of these guns. And then that vertical takeoff is going to let you finish up enemies with your lasers. So for the next build, this is not a new one. It's my old Ogre build, but I updated a little bit, put the new radar on, and I'm just using mega lasers on this and a bunch of the mid-range plasma, so it's not really anything tricky or fancy. I did put the radar again on the back, as I feel like it helps a little bit just to let your team know where the enemies are. But this was doing pretty good damage. It's not all the way up at the max CPU, but it was pretty beefy, a pretty beefy build. And so the extra health bonus I felt like really did a nice job in keeping me alive. So this kind of gave me an idea. I was like, okay, let me see what else we can build with the railguns in a mech form. In the last patch, they also improved the sprinter leg, so I went ahead and threw 3 on. I heard that if you lose a leg, you go about half speed, so I want to make sure that didn't happen as easily. Of course, we're still going to use that radar, and I'm using a flak system on this too to try to keep some of the aerial vehicles at bay. 5 of the plasma, and 1 of the Rail Impaler. So it's got a pretty good arsenal. The only thing I really found this thing is not great against is going up against shotgun vehicles, little tiny ones especially. So you got to watch out for upcoming shotguns, but that's kind of true with anything. If you're playing on a team, you just have some guys with you that can have your back on that. But for area vehicles, this thing's great. It's just practicing basically with just the sniper rifle, getting lots of kills and stuff like that with it. And it's pretty tanky too. I beefed it up a lot of blocks, and the bonus health was really helping out a lot too, taking shots like this. Didn't use any electroplates on this. I just want to kind of compare what this was like versus some of my other vehicles that had a couple of them on. And it seems like getting that bonus health is definitely the way to go. So we got a nice victory there. Yeah, 14 kills, and I wasn't even really using my flak in that round with all the little flyers, so it's just pretty much hitting them all with rails. So my final build, and this is probably the one that's going to be the closest to meta, closest to like what will become popular, is using the biggest electroplate, since they really got a beefy buff as far as the overall health, and they're now better than like cubes on a 1-to-1 comparison. So, of course, you still got the flak meta, which hasn't really gone away. So I'm still going to use the flaks, but then I'm including the Rail Impaler on top. Then I threw a little bit of decoration on the back, too. We still got our Buccaneer flag on it and threw some spikes on and stuff like that. One way you can also increase your top speed of mechs is to throw on hovers now. Now, it didn't used to be that way. Before, if you threw hovers on, it actually slow you down on a sprinter mech, but now it actually increases your speed with the speed boost. So I always put some on because somebody's going to try to aim for your legs most likely, especially if you're armored up like I am right here. So I went ahead and made sure that I had 4 of the hovers in the bottom of this thing. Makes for a nice backup too, because if you go in and hit and run or something like that, the first thing people are generally going to shoot at is your legs. So having those hovers in the bottom will get you out of harm's way more times than not. If it's not a suicide run you're after. See if we can hit this guy a couple more times here. He's being a dodgy little dude. We'll see if we'll just nail him one more time right in the face. Okay, he's a little too far away. Maybe we can try to crawl up the side here and get him. Got into a good hiding spot. Someone's nailing me in the back. Where is that coming from? Where are you? It must be another air vehicle here somewhere. Alright, nice. We got the new Proto-Seekers, 2 in the game. I haven't really played with those yet, but I guess they got changed where it's only now 2 for maximum Proto-Seeker ability. So that's a little bit different. I've heard too that people saying the Proto-Seekers are a little OP. Haven't tried them out yet, but might try to do that here in the future. Alright, let's turn back on our flak here real quick. See if we can shred down the core. Oh, and we got even. So we didn't even need to do that. Alright, kind of silly move. Let's see if we can take this guy out real quick. Ah, nice stealth. What? I hope it was stealth. Either that or just disappeared. I agree. What? What happened? Alright, let's see. Let's come over here and we'll get this guy out of the way. We got our second round of energy. Can keep him close enough. Let's see if we can get him with the sniper rifle. I'm definitely not the best shot at this, but I think we got him grounded. Nice. Teamwork for the win. Alright, we're going to try to finish up the cap here real quick. See if we can hold this with our friend. What does that say on the back? It's kind of hard to read. Alright, here we go. And, crap, another flyer. This thing can do pretty good damage, but I'm just not the best shot. I feel like it's almost easier sometimes to hit people without using the scope mode, because it just takes that extra little second to get them in scope, and usually that's enough time for them to react. Crap, no legs. Okay, let's see if we can get out of here real quick. Sometimes I find that if you lose a couple of hovers and you're off center, if you just spin, it will usually right you, or at least get you where you can move. There we go. Now we're back on our hovers. Let's take cover here. Hopefully behind the wall, that should be enough. There's that sneaky dude trying to murder me in the face. Got a little present for you, sneaky dude. Surprise! It's a flak present. Alright, so we gave him his flak present. Let's go back over now and see if we can finish this up. I think actually what I'd like to do is let's sneak into their base and strip out some of their crystals. That will put us ahead a little bit. We're at 50% right now. We got that guy pretty good. Pretty good shot on him. Where you going, dude? Nice. Alright, time for our sneak attack. Of course, for a proper sneak attack, we need to put on our secret disguise as Butler McGee. Well, hello, Red Chaps. I'm just here to clean your room. Don't mind me. I'll just be in sweeping away these nasty, dirty crystals from your center column. We're not going to want any of these attached to the center pole here. They make life so miserable. Oh, I'm slow. What do you mean you don't want room service? I didn't see any sign on the door. Back up here, and I'll be back in a bit when you have better manners and don't shoot your room service person. How rude. I was just trying to help. Ow. Well, it seems that the red team saw the error of their ways, and they decided to clean their center column themselves without the help of room service that they so rudely murdered in the face. And we came out with a victory there. We did okay. We died a lot. We did a little bit of murdering, though, too. And so, yeah, that was what I've been creating here with the Rail Impaler and other parts. Just kind of checking things out, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't. Definitely the not working column is going to be with the insect legs in them. And the things I like the best are probably going to be the Rail Impaler, and the new rudders, too, are really cool. And also having back those light blocks are really neat. So what have you guys been up to? Have you been trying out any of the new parts, checking out the Proto Seekers, or anything else that you think maybe I might want to check out in a future episode? And if you guys haven't already, I'd appreciate it if you thumbs up this video. And also, if you don't want to miss any of my content, I'd recommend you click on the little bell icon to get regular updates, especially if you're a Robocraft or Crossout fan. There'll be more of that coming in the future. That's pretty much going to do it for this episode. Thank you so much for checking out my video, and I'll see you guys in the very next episode. Later.